Listen to why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. There's nothing like gaining a fresh perspective from experts who've seen it all and have the wisdom to prove it. With Masterclass, you can learn from the best to become your best. With plans starting at $10 a month, billed annually, you get unlimited access to over 200 plus classes taught by the world's best business leaders, writers, chefs, and more. With Masterclass, you get thousands of bite-sized lessons across 13 categories that can fit into even the busiest of schedules. And the classes really make a difference. 3 in 4 surveyed members feel inspired every time they watch Masterclass. And 83% of surveyed members have applied something they've learned from Masterclass to their lives. Masterclass always has great offers during the holidays, sometimes up to as much as 50% off. Head over to masterclass.com/audio for the current offer. That's up to 50% off at masterclass.com/audio. masterclass.com/audio.
So here's the thing with homemade meals. Eating them is great, but all the chopping and measuring and cleanup, not so much. With new one-pan assemble and bake meals from Blue Apron, you get all the flavor of homemade meals with a fraction of the work. Just assemble the pre-chopped ingredients, bake in the oven, and enjoy. Shop Assemble and Bake at BlueApron.com. Get 50% off your first 2 orders with code APRON50. Terms and conditions apply. Visit BlueApron.com/terms for more.
Listen up, football. Why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows homes, so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish and satin? Or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews, all on the app. Download today.
Here's Mark Turgeon joining us. He's going into the Kansas Sports Hall of Fame coming up in October, a ceremony in his hometown of Topeka. Hey, Mark, it's been a while. How are you doing?
I'm good, Bob. How you doing?
Well, it's good to catch up with you. You know, I always enjoyed our moments together covering the Shockers when you were coaching the Shockers. And now that you've had a few years away from coaching, how do you look back on all that? Where would those years at Wichita State rank for you if you were to someday sit down and write your autobiography?
Well, obviously it was great 7 years for me and my family. A lot happened, and we were able to, meet a lot of great people and, still have great friends in Wichita, and then also build the program up. I think it was in the 280 in the RPI when we got there, and had a lot to do. And because of Jim Schaus and Don Beggs and just a lot of hard work and a great staff, we were able to build that program up. So it ranks high. Obviously it was a big part of my life. I was young and learning a lot on the job, but wouldn't trade it for anything. It was quite a journey. My whole 35 years in coaching was quite a journey, but the 7 years as the head coach of Wichita State were obviously very special to me and my family.
Did you feel like you had done everything that could be done at Wichita State? You got them, into the postseason and then into the NCAA tournament and to the Sweet 16. Did that feel like the peak of Wichita State basketball, of what it could be in that era? And what kind of were your aspirations in leaving Wichita State? What did you hope to accomplish?
Well, you never know where you're going to take a program and how high it can go and all that stuff. Obviously, it went much higher after I left. Greg was able to get him to a Final Four. I was a very impatient person, still am to this day. I had aspirations of hopefully winning a national championship, and obviously that didn't happen in my career. But I felt like at the time that next step gave me a better opportunity to do it. And, hindsight's 20/20, but, you want to move, you want to keep going up the ladder. And then you see what's happened in today's game with, it continues to, the Power Fives continue to separate themselves. And so you're always trying to get to that next level so you could have security, being in a big league, being in a league that enabled you to do things to be successful. So there was a lot behind that, but no, it was just a fun 7 years, and being able to get to that Sweet 16 after what we took over was, in my mind, pretty amazing. And just to build the building and work with Jim Schaus and Don Beggs and Charles Koch and a lot of guys to help us build that building and practice facility, and we really built it up. I remember when I left there, I felt like we had done a lot of great things to put it on the map and make it a program that could be sustainable after I left.
Mark Turgeon is our guest, of course, formerly Wichita State's basketball coach, a native of Topeka, going into the Kansas Sports Hall of Fame coming up in October. So when you got that notification, Mark, you've kind of been away from Kansas for a little while. You're living, I believe, still living in Maryland. Am I right about that?
Yeah, we're still in Maryland. Yeah, Bob.
So what was it like to get that phone call, and what were your emotions?
Well, I wasn't expecting it, and so it was kind of a real pleasant surprise. And yeah, I have been away from the game, and you just don't know what's going on. I've always felt like the state of Kansas has always given me the most love of anywhere I've ever been, and because of high school and because of playing at Kansas, and of course being at Wichita State. So I was excited, obviously to be a part of the Kansas Sports Hall of Fame, and being from that state and having such great memories of growing up there and all the friendships and family friends and all the success I had in basketball in the state of Kansas. It obviously meant a lot to me. And it really, I think as I get closer to it and I'm starting to do interviews, I haven't done interviews, Bob, since I stepped down. I did one for WIW in Topeka, and you're the second one I've done now. So I really kind of stayed away.
You turned me down a couple times.
Yeah, don't take it personal. I've turned a lot of people down, and
I never did.
I felt like I had to start doing this because of the Hall of Fame. So, it meant a lot, and it's special for me and my family.
So, when you arrived at Wichita State, how much did you sense an eagerness from fans to get back to previous levels? There had been, 3 coaches who really came up pretty short in that endeavor. And how much did you feel, at least from the outside, that people thought it was realistic to get back to those levels?
Well, I was young and naive, and I only knew one way, and that was to work hard. And I always felt like we could get it going at a high level. And it's not easy. It's not easy when it's been down for a few years to turn it. But I think the fan base was still there. It just kind of was hiding in the cracks a little bit. And I remember the first banquet, I came and spoke, and I think it was the year before's team, and they had me speak, and I get a standing ovation for like 2 minutes, and I was like, okay, this is a hungry group right here. And then I just remember, we got off to a great start. Jesus, we beat K-State, we beat Oklahoma State, and we were selling out everything. Then kind of reality set in, and we lost a bunch of games in a row. But I just felt like the people were hungry, and they were, they were behind us. And gosh, I don't know what year it was. Maybe it was right after we moved into the new building, and we had lost a road game, and it was like, probably 8 to 10 inches of snow on the ground, and we were playing a team that we were supposed to beat, and I was thinking, oh God, this is going to be half full tonight, and it was, it was standing room only, and we hadn't done much yet. I mean, we were starting to win. We kept winning more games every year those first 5 or 6 years, but we really hadn't gone to the NCAA tournament. I don't even think we'd gone to the NIT. But the fan base was hungry, and you could tell they really wanted it. And it made you work harder. You wanted to do it for him. That was quite a moment when we cut down the nets and won the Missouri Valley. And that was a terrific league that year. Sent 4 teams to the NCAA tournament and to the Sweet 16 to cut down those nets. It wasn't only just for me and my team; it was for the city of Wichita and the fan base. They helped us do it, and I've always playing at Kansas and being at Wichita State. Fan bases are important, and they help you win games you're not supposed to win. They back you when things aren't going well, and they stick with you, and those are the programs that are usually pretty successful.
Former KU guard Mark Turgeon, our guest, also, of course, coached at Wichita State. So many ways to introduce you and your connection to the state of Kansas. When we talk about Halls of Fame, we have a Wichita State Hall of Fame, and I think you should be in it, and I definitely also believe Jim Schaus should be in it because the hire he made of you couldn't have been easy. You were a young coach. You'd been at Jacksonville State. You'd done some good things there, but it was a bit of a roll of the dice, I think we all thought. And then when you left, he hired Greg Marshall out of a small school called Winthrop. And Turgeon and Marshall are, that's a lot of winning over those years. So what did Jim Schaus know that others maybe didn't?
Yeah, he was just really good at having a feel for hiring coaches. It wasn't just me and Greg. He had a lot of really good hires through the years, and I like to think I was a part of a lot of them. Obviously, I sold myself to him, for Wichita State, and it's a crazy story. I woke up, we had lost to Central Florida in the tournament, and I was like, oh, man. And I'd heard rumblings that Wichita State was going to call him. My wife goes, what are you doing? I said, I got to get one more recruit, and I'm going to go out and buy this summer pass for this Robert Trent Jones golf trail this morning. And I'm going to work on this last recruit because I think we're going to be really good next year. After I left, they were preseason number 1, and Jim called me out of the blue at about 9:30 in the morning. We talked for an hour, and I felt like by the time I hung up, I was going to be the next head coach at Wichita State. And so I never went out and bought that summer golf pass at Robert Trent Jones, obviously, but. Jim was terrific, and don't forget about Don Beggs either. I know he can't go into the Sports Hall of Fame, but he was big. Both of them were a big reason, and surely why we picked Wichita State. But Jim was, he was insightful. He was always a step ahead. We went, I think 500. We went under 500 my first year. We had a terrible season. Then we went 500 my second year, and he, doubles my salary and, extends it. And, he could see that we were going to do great things. So I loved when guys gave you the respect you deserved and probably were a little ahead of the curve. And Jim was the best at that. So, I don't work for Wichita State. I'm not on any committees, but I do think Jim Schaus deserves to be in there. And hopefully soon he'll be a Shocker Hall of Famer.
So I want to ask if you would consider coaching again, but I think maybe the 3 years that you've been away have maybe been the 3 most landscape-changing years in the history of college athletics. The Big Ten, which you were in, is now all the way to California. It's all crazy. We know everything about the portal and the NIL. Would it be important? Is it important for you to avoid that and not pursue an opportunity, or is that something that you feel like you're still pretty young that you could kind of eventually adjust to?
Yeah, no, I was adjusting to it. I knew the money thing was coming, and we were starting. Actually, we laid a really great foundation for Kevin Willard when he came in, and had a great foundation built up from the collectibles and things that I'd done over the years at Maryland. And the portal was the portal. In a place like Maryland, portal can be good to you. And, So yeah, it is what it is. Will I ever coach again? I don't know. I miss it, and I am young, and I probably have a good 7-8 years left in me if I came back. But it's going to have to be the right job. The main reason I didn't get back into coaching is because I moved my family all over the place all the time, and I was tired of it being about me and moving when I wanted to move, and so I just stepped away, and we stayed in Maryland. My youngest just graduated from high school. He's off to college next year, so there's an opportunity there for me and my wife. If we do decide to get back into coaching, we can. My life's good. I started a consulting business, which I love doing, helping coaches. I'm going to do that again this winter. It keeps me busy for 5 or 6 months. I started a nonprofit for Alzheimer's. It's in our family. I work on that really hard for about 2 or 3 months, and it's very rewarding. So I stay pretty busy about 8 to 9 months. Then I goof around the other 3 months. So life's good. I don't have to go back to coaching. I'm very fortunate. I've been saving money since my yard service in 8th grade back in Topeka. So, I'm very, very fortunate in that way. But I do miss it, and I want to stay active, and I don't ever want to get bored. And right now I haven't gotten bored. I've stayed extremely busy. I'm in love with pickleball, play pickleball as much as my body will allow it.
I would hate to play you in pickleball. I would just absolutely hate. It would be the worst thing ever.
Would. Yeah, I would hit it at your feet and then hit it at your chest a few times, Bob, just for some of those articles you wrote. But I love it.
You're a little bit too competitive, but that's okay. Mark, we really enjoyed talking with you. Thanks for spending some time with us. Congratulations on your upcoming induction into the Kansas Sports Hall of Fame, and good luck on whatever you decide to do with your future. Whatever it is, I know you'll be successful. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it. All right, guys. Take care.
Listen up. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. There's nothing like gaining a fresh perspective from experts who've seen it all and have the wisdom to prove it. With Masterclass, you can learn from the best to become your best. With plans starting at $10 a month, billed annually, you get unlimited access to over 200 plus classes taught by the world's best business leaders, writers, chefs, and more. With Masterclass, you get thousands of bite-sized lessons across 13 categories that can fit into even the busiest of schedules. And the classes really make a difference. 3 in 4 surveyed members feel inspired every time they watch Masterclass. And 83% of surveyed members have applied something they've learned from Masterclass to their lives. Masterclass always has great offers during the holidays, sometimes up to as much as 50% off. Head over to masterclass.com/audio for the current offer. That's up to 50% off at masterclass.com/audio. masterclass.com/audio.
In a world of endless notifications, there could be an important one you're missing. Your kidneys may be signaling an SOS. With high blood pressure or type 2 diabetes, your kidneys could be warning you of early signs of damage, which may put you at higher risk for events like heart attack or stroke. But there's a simple test that can help spot a hidden signal. Ask your doctor about a urine test called UACR to help detect kidney disease and heart risk early. To learn more, visit detectthesos.com today.
At Byers Volkswagen, we've been family-owned since 1897, built on trust, driven by innovation. And now, buying your next Volkswagen is easier than ever. Shop online, customize your deal, and finalize everything from home. Just stop by to pick up the keys. It's that simple.
Drive home a new 2025 Volkswagen Tiguan SFWD for $336 for 36 months with zero due at signing.
The next generation shops online, and we're driving with them at columbusvolkswagen.com or visit us by the airport.
See dealer for details. Offer ends 1/5/26.